Okay, just go.
Yeah, just go.
Just go.
Yeah,
this is SquareTable.
This is SquareTable episode. I don't fucking remember.
It's like 9.
No, I think it's 8 or 9.
I think it's 9. I think the last one I labeled 8. I think.
I don't remember.
This is the quality you guys listen to, by the way.
Yeah, we are very, very organized people.
I am so organized right now.
We remember our podcast and remember to do it every month. We try every month.
That's a little stringent. I would say once a literal blue moon.
Once a literal blue moon, when our schedules align and the planets are all in line
on
with
the
each
summer
other.
equinox.
On the summer equinox, except Pluto. Fuck you, Pluto. You're not a planet.
You're not part of it anymore, Pluto. I'm sorry.
Poor Pluto is crying off in the distance of its other two.
It's okay. It's not
brothers.
a planet. It doesn't have rights.
Jupiter owns everything. Jupiter's second in command to the sun.
Yeah.
Largest gravitational force. Giant storm that never ends.
Oh god, Pluto's not Pluto. Jupiter's so metal.
I mean,
there's just a massive storm at all times.
Which planet was it that it rains diamonds? Or something? Maybe that's a moon. I don't remember.
That sounds like a moon.
But there's a place that rains diamonds. And it wasn't Venus. Because I think Venus is just sulfur. I don't think it's strong enough to make diamonds.
Venus is nothing but poisonous gas.
And yet, that's where Wolfenstein 2 goes.
Yeah.
Because Hitler lives on Venus.
The moon's stupid.
The moon's stupid. I mean,
let's go to Venus.
That movie Iron Sky, stupid shit. There are Nazis on the moon.
Just go to Nazi Bespin.
Take your Venus Star Cruiser over there.
Lando is the last person on Nazi Bespin, by the way. He's actually not allowed at all. That's how Nazi they are.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, this is a SquareTable podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Assassin Glasgow.
And I'm Zach from Two Patricks, but we haven't recorded anything lately.
Aren't you switching over to Twitch?
Yeah, probably, but I still haven't gotten much. It's hard to get Dell on my schedule.
It's hard to get Dell anywhere. I feel like he's so busy.
Oh yeah, no, it's impossible.
It's like worse than me, and I'm busy now.
Because he actually does things with his family. You and I don't care at all.
I mean, I do things with my family. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently.
No, more like my family are the parasites that I keep alive in my lab.
Wow.
That's what I've been doing now.
Wow.
For the past month.
I thought you were going to take that a different direction at first.
Because I said the word parasite?
Because you said the word parasites in your family, but now I realize you actually mean the literal parasites you have.
The literal parasites that I work with in my lab, yes, for my graduate program, which is where I've been for the past month, which is also why I've been really, really bad uploading too.
We haven't played Brutal Legend in a while.
Yeah, we haven't played Brutal
Legend.
I
still haven't caught up on all the side quests and that.
You should probably do that.
They're all the same.
Yeah, because, EA, who the fuck published Brutal Legend? Activision?
EA did.
EA.
But I think Double Fine gets... This was in an era where Double Fine got a lot more credit than they probably deserved.
I don't know. I mean, Double Fine...
Because, I don't know...
This wasn't Broken Age Double Fine.
This wasn't Broken Age Double Fine, but it probably led to an inflated sense of self-worth.
I don't know. What else did they put out during that time? I thought it was just Brutal Legend.
They did just put out Brutal Legend during that time.
And before that was Psychonauts.
And then after that it was Broken Age. And along with Broken Age there was DS9, which they abandoned. And still left up on the Steam store.
What's DS9?
It's like a space station simulator that you build things, but they basically abandoned it. And you can still buy it, but it's broken.
Wow,
that's scummy. Yes, I know.
That sucks. But honestly, I feel like a lot of it falls down to Steam too. So
no, it does. Steam needs to actually have
clean shit up.
They need a quality assurance department.
They really
and that needs to be like half their company just to go through all the Steam. And that's the thing. Like you have to take responsibility for this sheer the size of your catalog is nice, but you need to clean your catalog up.
So, there's a video that Critico posted. I don't know if you've seen it. He loves playing bad games, and I totally understand why. So, he saw another bad game on Steam.
Okay,
went to go buy it. Huh?
This is probably a good story so far.
Okay, he went to go buy it. Some game, Alien Feeding Frenzy, I think was the name of the title. And, it looks like a shitty game using Unity assets. And it looked as bad as that one female serial killer game. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, with like the giant breasts.
Are we talking about Yandere Simulator?
No, Yandere Simulator uses something. Well, it uses Unity, but it's like the assets don't look like typical assets. Like the store bought assets.
It's not store bought assets. Okay.
Well, they are store bought.
They're not store bought in the sense that
they look like the shitty horror
someone
game.
just pulled as many as they could to do as.
The free store bought.
Yeah.
The free store bought. The free store assets. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So anyways, he went to go buy this game. He paid money for it. He went to download this game. There was no executable file associated with it. It was a game that did not have a game. And this was on Steam being sold for money.
That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
So...
Because that goes to prove that Steam doesn't even check these things.
Exactly.
Like, at least with Steam Greenlight, it had to be looked at. Granted, it was easily, what's the word I'm looking for? It was easily abused. And it often brought a lot of shit to the store, but at least it had to be looked at.
What I'm wondering is why, after the abolishment of Steam Greenlight, why suddenly the floodgates are just open. Anybody can submit their game, and if they pay the right amount of fees, their game can just go up. There's no vetting or anything. That's basically Steam Greenlight, except instead of the community voting for it over a period of time or whatever, they could just go straight in because they paid the money.
I think
wasn't it supposed to be harder?
Yes, it was. I think the thing is that in their defense, in a really shitty defense, Valve is a somewhat small company that has created something that can't. Oh, let me finish. It's something that it's created something bigger than themselves. However, with all the money that they undoubtedly make, they need to put more resources into Steam. They have to, because there's no way that because Steam's like this sluggish sort of like seal in a BBC nature documentary that's supposed to be killed by the polar bear, but through sheer luck, it just gets away every time, and then the polar bear starves.
That poor polar bear.
I mean, that was actually a...
was that actually what happened in a nature documentary?
I actually watched one of the BBC documentaries.
Was it narrated by... what's his face? Attenborough,
yes.
David Attenborough.
He does all of them, and you just listen to David Attenborough talk about this poor polar bear. We're like, oh, he's fucked. He is absolutely fucked.
In the David Attenborough British accent, I don't actually know where he's from, so
it's extraordinary how much he has fucked up here.
He didn't get the seal again. Oh, there goes the seal.
It should have been so easy because it was fucking raw.
It was fucking...
With guest star Gordon Ramsay.
Ramsay. It was fucking raw and unmoving until you approached it. You idiot sandwich. But Valve makes a lot of money, but I think Valve falls into the trap of like, they're the biggest thing in the market. Like, you have all these competitors making their own thing, or like trying to, because they're trying to emulate Steam's model. These online platforms. So you have Origin, Uplay, I don't know, GOG. GOG's for older games.
The thing is that
right?
well, not necessarily. GOG is for games with no DRM, and older games by default have no DRM.
They have no DRM.
But they also take new games that have no DRM. So they take Witcher and Kingdom Come Deliverance and a lot of smaller games. Go to it. Mountain Blade goes to GOG, I believe. And GOG has a client now, but it's like you own the game on your computer, so you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, with Steam, you have to agree to a license agreement that basically, in writing, tells you if something happens to Steam, you don't really own those games.
You see, because the thing is, I prefer GOG, and I like GOG a lot, but Steam just has a greater market.
It really does. It has a bigger cut of the market, and I think Valve falls in the same trap that Google does.
Yeah.
In that, like YouTube,
when you're the only game in town, you stop caring.
Yeah, because like YouTube has had its slew of problems too: demonetization, the advertisers pulling out because of like really random things that like one person did, them not, stepping down. No, wait, what am I looking for? What are the fucking words I'm looking for? Them not being hard enough on like Logan Paul and shit like that when he does stupid shit. It's because there's nobody else that can compete with YouTube, and they know that, and everybody goes there, and it's kind of like this vicious cycle. We want to leave, but there are no alternatives.
The closest alternative is Twitch, and that's owned by Amazon.
Twitch is, if you've noticed, they are putting videos. Like, you can upload videos.
I see that.
Trying.
That's why I'm thinking about switching everything over to Twitch instead, because I can never get anything from Google. Like, there's never any help from Google. It's basically if a company decides, I want that, then YouTube's like, okay, they have it now. Fuck you, man. No, that's theirs now. That is literally theirs. You can't do anything about it.
I think the problem with Twitch having videos is that it built itself up as a streaming platform,
right.
And switching to videos is a lot harder than, say, YouTube switching to streaming.
Because it's a cultural mentality, I think, because it's like it's what you expect from Twitch, you know? Yeah,
you expect to live broadcast. You expect to interact with the streamer pretty much almost instantaneously. There is a delay, but you expect that kind of personal interaction, which you wouldn't really get from YouTube videos per se, unless they also stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
I think at this point, I'm just tired of being fucked by Google at this point.
I mean, and I totally understand that.
And, like, it's a thing of, like, my audience is equitable across both Twitch and YouTube, so it's like, I really don't lose anything going over to Twitch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So at that point, I guess it's like, I want to do this, and the only thing that would keep me back is if YouTube offered me a service that I liked, but they don't.
They haven't really. The last big change, if you're not talking about all the community creator things that changed, because there were a lot of guidelines that changed for that, and so now like channels under 1,000 subscribers and so many views per month, they can't monetize their videos. That was a big row in the community for a while, but. It's just, they haven't really offered anything significant. The last thing they offered that was significant was maybe YouTube gaming, but I don't use that. No, I don't know anybody who uses that.
I don't think I think the only people who use that are people like Achievement Hunter, which would have incentive to use that. You know what I mean? Like, they have incentive to use that as they partner up with Google, but you or me, we have no incentive.
Well, I'm not talking about like from a creator point of view. I'm talking about because YouTube gaming aggregates all videos that have gaming content in them, and then they post on the front page.
Yeah, that's just a filter at that point.
It's just a filter, and as a regular viewer, unless you just watch video game things for whatever reason, I don't understand the use for it when I could just go to YouTube.
Yeah,
like regular old shitty homepage YouTube.
Yeah,
the homepage is awful.
That. I guess, like, the thing is, like, when I think about this sort of thing, I think about the two super best friends, and they post on YouTube, and for a while they had their own website, but then the provider of that website basically screwed everything up royally, so they lost that. I don't know if they found another one yet, but it's like they do YouTube. And they have they use a channel Twitch for for talks, and then they each have their own Twitch, but they post to YouTube still. So I look at that and I think, would they post to Twitch, or do they post their videos to YouTube because that's where their audience is, or are they posting it because that's the best place for it? Like outside of where their audience is, in terms of whether it's on Twitch or whether it's on YouTube.
Honestly, I think it's probably because of their audience, because they know a big chunk of their audience is there.
Yeah.
Also, if they're partnered in any way with any like company or something like that, like Machinima, or whatever reason, they have to post there.
I think their contract with Machinima is basically on the way out, because I very rarely see things between them now.
Machinima is not
because Machinima doesn't have anything now.
Well, they used to be a home for Machinimas, but now everybody's just moved on, and Machinima is like, they're barely staying alive.
Well, now people will make their own goddamn Machinima.
Well,
you know?
I mean, they've always made their own.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, they won't go to Machinima, they'll just do their own thing.
Well, that's not...
I don't even think Machinima's a thing anymore.
Machinima is a thing, but the thing is, there was a time where they were just, in terms of gaming content, they were kind of dominating, because they got a lot of good, like... It wasn't Red versus Blue on Machinima?
Yeah, but that was on Rooster Teeth.
But they also shared it on Machinima for YouTube,
I don't think they do it anymore.
No, not anymore, of course. They're Rooster Teeth are their own company now. They built themselves up. But I mean, back then...
I have no idea on that.
Oh, I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass for that.
You might be talking out of your ass.
Yeah, I know. But Machinima, there was a time where Machinima, I remember, it was like 2008 or something, where they were just kind of like owning the gaming market because there weren't any other networks like him.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of gaming content that was funny and interesting. But then, as you know, the years went on, those guys were on their way out, and Machinima is now struggling to stay alive because they can't find people that can capture the audience the same way that they were able to capture the audience in 2008. It was like, Sanity Not Included. I remember watching that a long time ago in high school.
That became shit really quickly, by the way.
It became shit when one of the creators left. I don't remember who. I think it was the English guy.
Yeah.
Like, once he left, it was all downhill from there.
I watch RB and the Chief a lot. I remember that.
Yeah, RB and the Chief was on there too. But then, like, John... The last episode, what was supposed to be the last episode of like season 3, 2, I don't remember. It was supposed to be the end because he didn't want to do it anymore. He wanted to go pursue his own like career in filmmaking.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing now. I think I don't remember. But then Machinima was like, "But everybody loves RB.
I need you to keep doing this so I have a company."
The thing is, no, he He supervised them, but he didn't make
He didn't make them anymore.
He didn't... Okay, so this is what happened. You have RB and the Chief Season 1, RB and the Chief, the movie, which is supposed to be Season 2, and RB and the Chief Season 3 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 is, like, supposed to be the end, I think. And John was just done with it. Like, he wasn't happy with it. He's a huge perfectionist from what I remember on his Twitter and, like, his commentary. Mm-hmm. He was just done with it and getting burned out. So then he was like, I'm not doing this anymore, Machinima. I'm going to go work on my thing. I'll supervise shit, like what you do with the episodes of my channel or something like that, but I'm not going to do anything else. And then they just went and made a new season of RB and the Chief, and it was RB and the Chief in LA. And the whole story was that the owners of RB and Chief moved to LA to like live with the girl RB had a crush on. Mm-hmm. It was really fucking weird. And they started introducing other video game characters. Like, I think Mario became involved.
That's too weird.
It was really bad. And I remember trying to watch it. I was like, oh, new RB and the Chief. And I tried to watch it, and I stopped because it was just bad. And then John came back because he was like, I can't accept this.
You're shitting on my legacy.
Shitting on my legacy. And he came back, and the seasons were a lot darker, but also better written. It was actually very good.
I think we should talk about the things that you want to talk about.
Oh yeah,
but first, I want to say that the wedding episode was the best episode.
The wedding episode is the best episode of RB and the Chief, and I think. No, I can't argue it. I was going to say something on the season after because like it was all about RB's existential crisis. Yeah. But no, the wedding episode. No, they actually, he went back to that. One of the newer seasons, I think it was like season 5, there's a wedding, they crash a wedding again. It's another. So it's like the wedding episode times 2. It's great. Okay. And I think he actually makes a callback to that wedding episode with the Spartan laser too. It's been a while, but really, the wedding episode is so good. This is my favorite episode in that show. All right, now we should actually talk about the stuff we planned to talk about prior to doing our podcast.
Yeah, we just spent like 20 minutes talking about fucking nothing.
I blame the fact that I was sick for a week and a half.
Okay, then yes, that is your fault.
It's not my fault. I got sick.
How dare you get ill?
I think I got sick from
Your parasites?
No, if I got sick from my parasites, I'd be fucking dead.
Okay.
Well, actually, they don't kill that fast.
You have a very high opinion of your parasites. My parasites are the most lethal.
Well, the thing is, the parasite that I work with...
They are lethal?
Yes, they are. Okay,
they're all little mini Hitman 47s?
We work with a parasite species, or is it taxonomic species? I don't know what the term is. I'm really bad with, like, Linnaeus shit.
Some weird squiggly fuck?
They are squiggly.
You work with some weird squiggly fucks, okay.
They are squiggly. They're trypanosomes. And so they're 2 trypanosomes, and they cause, like, these tropical diseases that nobody gives a shit about because there's no money to be made. So all the pharmaceutical companies don't make any drugs for them. And, like, the current drugs we have, everybody, like, all the parasites are getting resistant to them. So it's a big problem. So, like, one of them is in South America, and that causes, like, chronic heart disease if they infect you. And that gives, like, that's a long-term problem. And the other one is from Africa, and they cause, like, death, basically. They cause sleeping sickness because they get into your nervous system, and you just shut down. You go into a coma, and you die. So it's pretty much once you're infected, you're dead. The chances
You're
of
studying fun things.
Yeah, no, I'm studying fun things because it's like science research to help people who are affected by these diseases that nobody gives a shit about, because malaria.
You see, I work with math, and math is boring, but you're working with things that kill people. Math only kills people indirectly.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. But I need to figure out how much gunpowder to put in my fertilizer.
The only time math killed someone is when I think it was some story. I highly doubt it's true, but like it was like Pythagoras, and some soldier comes by and it's like, Pythagoras, we've been looking for you. And he's like, fuck off! I'm drawing in the dirt, and then they kill him, and it's like, oh shit, that was Pythagoras. Okay.
Wait. They were looking for him.
Yes. Hold on. They didn't know he was Pythagoras. That was the story. They didn't know it was him. It's like, where's Pythagoras? He said, fuck off. I'm drawing in the dirt. I'm drawing my diagrams. I'm drawing my theorem. And then they kill him.
This triangle.
And they're like, oh no, the legate's gonna be furious because I killed him. Damn it.
Why did he kill him?
Because like he just thought he was a shit or something. This story,
Why would you fucking
this story is like 99.9% likely to be untrue.
Okay. So you're telling me Pythagoras' death is a hoax?
Because he drew in the sand.
Because he drew in the sand.
Like an old man.
Like an old man. It's an Illuminati symbol with the pyramid.
And then he did a Pythagorean theorem with
the pyramid. He did. He found the length of each side of the pyramid. Each side of the pyramid is the same.
Pythagoras, it's supposed to be an equilateral triangle, not a right triangle. Shut up! I'm doing my theorem.
Okay. So we had
23 minutes
to discuss. So we should probably try
talking about them.
We should try talking about them.
Okay.
All right.
You start.
Okay. So loot boxes. That's it. That's it.
That's actually the end.
No. Well, so EA came out with some kind of response to, was it a senator? Was that right?
Oh, you're talking about the ESA or the ESRB. Which one of them?
No. EA was like, we're gonna label our loot boxes like they're fun. We're gonna make sure.
No, I think the ESRB is definitely the one who said loot boxes are fun.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And I'm looking for my phone right now, so I can't find it. Where'd I put it?
You'll find it in no time.
That's why it may sound like my voice is going everywhere, because I can't find my fucking phone.
No, you're just getting sucked into a wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
A black hole. A black hole caused by the fact that...
I'm so busy, I keep forgetting that I'm in that black hole right now.
A black hole caused by the fact that Zion is a non-character in Kingdom Hearts.
So that's for a different podcast, but we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts.
We'll talk about Kingdom Hearts.
We'll have a Kingdom Hearts podcast and how everything Square Enix writes is shit.
I do want to bring up the fact that Square Enix is just really not very good at writing their female characters.
No, they're awful. They're awful at writing everything in that series of games.
Well, that's not necessarily... Well, I don't know. I remember Kingdom Hearts 2 fondly.
You've seen the Pro ZD one of Kingdom Hearts 3?
Mike Wazowski!
Fucking Mike Wazowski!
I mean, yeah, it's true. Their selling point is the fact that, like, Disney characters.
I'm sure the Square Enix part sells perfectly well in Japan, but the Disney part is definitely what I think does the American sales.
I don't know. I mean, I bet Disney is really popular in Japan too.
No, I'm not saying it's
like,
not.
Like, they have, like, a Tokyo Disneyland.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that it's like... It's like, I'm sure that Square Enix's name carries more weight in Japan in relation to the Disney part of it than in America. Where I feel like more of the weight in relation to its sales in Japan is on Disney than it is on Square Enix.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Because Mike Wazowski.
I think it's just in terms of Kingdom Hearts, the only female character that has, like, any sort of character, literally, is Aqua. And she is in a prequel game. But hopefully she shows up in Kingdom Hearts 3, because I need her to show up in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Maybe. What if it's just another Mike Wazowski? Mike Wazowski with the Keyblade.
No! Kairi gets a... Okay.
Wait, Kairi does get a Keyblade, doesn't she?
Yes.
That's so dumb!
No, there's a reason for it. It gets fucking explained in Birth by Sleep. But it's just... I remember playing it as a kid. I was 10 or something. And she gets a Keyblade all of a sudden. And this is in Kingdom Hearts 2. She gets a Keyblade all of a sudden. And I was just thinking in my head, why can Kairi use a Keyblade? I thought Sora and Riku were the only ones that could use it. She,
touches hands with Aqua for, 5 seconds and some
5
bullshit.
Seconds. And then some heart bullshit transfers. Yeah, it's pretty convoluted.
By the way, it was ESRB.
It was ESRB? Okay,
so
sorry.
So that whole side point was just so I could get to the point where I could prove I was right.
Yes, I rescind my comment. Okay. It was ESRB. I just saw the E and I was like, EA.
Okay.
Fucking EA.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts later, though. Another day.
But
today, ESRB said, not technically today, it was some time ago, but they defend fun loot boxes as it starts labeling all in-game, as it labels all of them, along with all DLC, all one-time transactions. They're all going to be labeled the same thing as microtransactions.
In-game currency is also under that.
So we got this from a couple articles. One I got from particularly was from Ars Technica.
Yeah, we'll use the Ars Technica article.
But basically, the ESRB's reaction to U.S. Policymakers and policymakers in Europe and Asia calling for things with loot boxes is that basically, we're going to label them all with the same thing that we do. We're going to make all transactions labeled one thing, and that will be our contribution. That'll be our work to do that one thing.
They set up a website and everything, too. Like
a website no one will go to.
Like, parents should, control their children's video game time with these 10 simple tips. Like a BuzzFeed article.
Yeah.
It's just... It's not tackling the root of the problem. No, it's trying to cover the very top.
It's trying to say, okay, what is the least amount of work we can do without people being mad?
Yeah, pretty much. And this is all in response to a senator, right? Or
this particular thing that ESRB did was not because of backlash from customers. It was from senators like Maggie Hassan putting forward inquiries and legislation to work on this. And legislation's already been passed in Europe, or at least it's already been put on the table in Europe in their parliaments. Like, I know for sure it was in the Dutch parliament.
No, I think it actually passed the Dutch parliament. I think they actually they passed it.
Yeah, they probably
did. It's like an actual law now, I think. But it's kind of like I like how the ESRB, they're only responding to this now.
Though there is this one line, I don't know if you've read it before. It's fun. It's a fun line. We think loot boxes are a fun way to acquire virtual items for use within the game to personalize your experience. Said, what's this person's name?
Mike Wazowski.
No, it's not Mike Wazowski. I need to find this person's name. ESRB President Patricia Vance. So this is from the president of the ESRB. So, from the president of the ESRB, loot boxes are fun. And then she said, while obviously there's an element of surprise in loot boxes, just like with baseball trading cards, The ability to complete games without buying loot boxes. There is an ability to complete games without buying loot boxes, and the lack of an in-game method of cashing out both cut against the gambling description. So,
but
you know
Battlefront 2?
So here's the thing that pisses me off about the gaming industry. The people in charge of the gaming industry and the people at the highest levels of the gaming industry are people who are like in their 50s and 60s and 70s who think baseball trading cards are in any way, shape, or form comparable to what we're talking about.
There's such a big, dissociation.
They're so fucking old that they don't know what we're talking about. I gotta move the mic a little bit. There we go. Anyway.
No, you're not sorry. You just killed all of our viewers' eardrums.
I am never sorry.
You just destroyed it. That loud screeching sound, they can't hear now. They're deaf.
Yeah. But back to the thing that pisses me off. It's people who are so old.
You destroyed our viewers' eardrums?
But yeah, ignoring that. ignoring their deafness. The thing is that it pisses me off that these people are so fucking old that they have no concept of what they're even talking about. Because baseball trading cards, at best, would refer to something like Shadowverse or Hearthstone. And then those cards have value towards the game. So having those cards could be seen, or buying cards in mass could be seen as paying to win.
What I think Patricia... I don't remember her
Patricia
last name.
Vance.
Patricia Vance. What I think Patricia Vance is trying to say is that when you buy card booster packs, this doesn't have to be baseball trading cards. I don't know why the fuck she used that.
Because she's probably old. She's probably old. That's why.
You could use Yu-Gi-Oh! You could use Magic, The Gathering. I mean, Pokemon, I guess, is still relevant nowadays, too. It's like...
No, if you were cognizant of anything going on in the 90s, you knew that Pokemon had trading cards. That had a more understandable value towards loot boxes and card packs than fucking baseball cards.
Seems like you have a vendetta against baseball cards.
I don't. I just don't care.
You sure you're not holding on to a really rare baseball card?
I think they're stupid.
Are you sure? Well, okay. Think about it. Card games, and then the fact that some of the cards get monetary value because they're so fucking rare, like an original print Blue Eyes White Dragon or something like that.
Right.
That's it's all value that we place on it because of its rarity. It's the same thing with baseball cards.
Right.
But the thing is, I guess what you're trying to say is that baseball cards, you can't use in an actual game. Is that true?
Like, Babe Ruth doesn't get a plus 20 attack.
Plus 20 bat swing.
When you're playing baseball War of Diamonds.
War of Diamonds.
That doesn't happen with baseball cards. It just doesn't.
You're telling me Babe Ruth's element isn't Earth? And that he doesn't kick up Earth when he runs?
No, it's fucking fire.
It's fucking fire? No, it's air. He runs quickly. Between the diamonds.
Oh, God.
Look at that home run. It's power. Minus 10 defense, but plus 20 bat swing.
Jackie Robinson, when you play this card, the enemy's color barrier is destroyed.
Oh my God.
That's the best one I've done so far. That's the best. Okay,
but what you're saying is that you can't use it in an actual card game.
No, you can't. They have value in that they might be rare, but they don't have value in that there is a gameplay element to it. They're collectibles. It's like collecting stamps. It's like collecting stamps, which would also be something an old person does.
Hey, some of those stamps are
Do you collect stamps?
Cool. No. No, I don't collect stamps. I think the art is cool sometimes, though, on it. I think the thing is okay, let's use Overwatch again. Overwatch as an example of our loot boxes.
Well, because Overwatch is like patient zero for this shit.
It is
appropriate.
It is patient zero. Overwatch loot boxes are, I think, more akin to baseball cards. You have the pack, the loot box. You open it up. You get your shitty blue and gray skins and sprays and voice lines. Same thing with a baseball card pack. You open it up. You get shitty non-rare cards. They're all the common baseball player cards. I don't know what constitutes a common baseball player card. But
probably someone who was so popular that they just made 1 million of them.
Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
They're now common. So who's like a rare baseball card?
Probably someone who sucks. Probably someone who's like middling and then got really good at the very end of their career. That's probably would be someone.
What player is exactly like that?
I honestly don't watch a lot of baseball. So
I don't either.
The sport I watch the most is basketball, and even then I only know like 5 people.
5 people, and like the one person like our friends bring up every single fucking time.
And then there'll be like that one guy like, hey, there's that short guy from the Celtics. I don't know his name, but he's just the short guy.
What do you mean you don't know his name? It's on the back of his jersey.
I told you.
It's his last name.
I don't pay attention.
You don't pay attention to when he turns around he flashes his jersey name? I only pay attention to the game. Or they like bring up like his name and his face on the screen so they can talk about his record.
I don't watch a lot of basketball.
I don't watch a lot of basketball either, but even I know they bring it up. Do you know his name? I don't know who you're talking about.
There we go.
I don't watch sports in general. Okay.
We're super focused right now.
we're very focused. But
Overwatch boxes.
And
shitty sprays.
I think it's similar to that. Like if you do baseline loot boxes, then yes, the argument that they're like baseball trading cards somewhat applies. But the problem is when the publishers who make their developers put in loot boxes that do directly impact the game. You can't use the baseball trading card. Was it simile? Metaphor?
Metaphor.
Metaphor. I'm going to call it a metaphor.
So here's the other thing about that. Even though they're only cosmetic with Overwatch, I would still argue that baseball cards are not equitable. Because with the baseball cards, it's something you collect, obviously. With the skins, with things like skins and that sort of thing, the things that people actually want for these characters. The fact of the matter is that people want those things, and the only way to obtain those things is through literally gambling. Is through a slot machine.
It is gambling because you don't know what's going to come out.
And people actually do the thing is that people actually do want these. They can only wear one at a time. So then what ends up happening is that most people only want one. Like, someone's not saying, I got this skin, and this skin. No, they're saying, I have this skin that I want, and we'll wait to see if I get another skin that I also want.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have, like, with trading cards, you can have all the trading cards at the same time. You can show everyone at the same time your trading cards. But with Overwatch loot boxes, with things that are just cosmetic, you still have something where it's like someone can only show one of those things. They can own all of them, but can only show one of them at a time. So their value is not like, I still don't think their value is like trading cards, especially because especially like when you buy physical card packs, it's like, okay, that's that's a guess, like it's like a mystery, like that mystery bags.
Yeah.
I don't think they're as popular now, but I remember them being popular a couple of years ago for sure. The mystery bags, but with loot boxes, it is an artificial rarity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
it's down to code.
It's down to code, and if the computer decides at that moment, yes, you will get this legendary skin, or you will not get anything of value. It's just down to whatever ones or zeros that it's like in front of the computer at the time. Mm-hmm. And like I understand what you mean.
So the thing is that these things, they're technically collectible, but on the other hand, you can only show off one at a time, and you're still gambling for these because you have no guarantee you'll ever get it.
Yep, I think that's a good summation of everything. I just think the fact that they're responding to it now, after legislation is being talked about, is just, it's way too
because it's late. Like it's trying to do the absolute minimum when you absolutely have to.
Yeah, and then they're also doing the absolute minimum.
Because the ESRB and the ESA were like, well, this is fine.
It just reminds me of how Apple didn't really start putting things about in-game purchases or in-app purchases until they got hit with lawsuits or some shit like that. And then now if you go to the App Store, I don't know if it's the same for the Play Store. If you go to the App Store and you look and an app it has to disclose if it has in-app purchases to get rid of ads, to unlock features, all that stuff. Because their kids who are using their phones were just racking up all the dollars to buy one stupid shit in a game.
And you can't put your credit card on memory in a store where you buy baseball cards.
That's true.
The two stores left in America that sell baseball cards, probably. But that's the thing. Like, you could also just have a card on your thing just so you don't have to put it in again, and then a kid can go in and then spend like $100 on shit.
But I think that's also, like, do you think that it should fall to the ESRB to do that? Or should it fall to the parent, who should be...
No, it absolutely... To begin with, and this applies to the whole thing of violent video games too, which is stupid to blame on video games and not on parents, because when when you have something that requires fiscal responsibility, you have something that requires a maturity to do so. The ESRB has already, in their defense, like for violent video games, has already said, we have a rating on this that tells you what's in the game and what we think, is, what's going on and what you think you should be aware of.
And this came after the fucking legal proceedings or something in the 90s. They do have a rating system. It's a lot like movie rating systems.
And it's actually even more stringent because it covers everything that's going to be in it.
Yep.
Like every possible thing. And then parents will just buy Grand Theft Auto 5 for their 5-year-olds.
I don't know if I ever told you. I remember walking in around Christmas to like a GameStop because I was looking for a Switch at the time, and then I did walk out with a Switch, because it was like a gift, but it was like this woman walked in and she didn't know what was happening. Mm-hmm. She was like, my kid wanted Call of Duty, World War II. What is that? What kind of, and like, does it come with these like PlayStation thingies? Like, she didn't know what she was talking about. And then like, the kid, I think, was like on the other side of the store. He was like 10. And she bought the game for him. This fucking like rated M game. Because
what can the seller honestly do? The seller will say, okay, well, that's for this, and you're not supposed to do this, and like it's not really for this, and like worst case scenario, the customer throws a hissy fit, and then the worker gets in trouble.
Yeah. And
the best case scenario, they'll go, I don't understand why this is so difficult. Like those are the two sides of it. There's nothing there's nothing the common retailer guy can do. Not the retailer company, the retailer guy, the human being in the story, where it's just people will complain that you won't sell them a game because they're buying it for someone who's not eligible for it, and then simultaneously blame you for violence in video games. It's like, we made clear who should be on this.
Exactly.
Like it's like saying it's like getting mad at The Equalizer and at Denzel Washington for making an awesome movie that wasn't meant for kids, and you took your 2-year-old there. And it's like, you shouldn't take your 2-year-old there because Denzel Washington fucked shit up the entire movie.
But people still do that.
People still do that.
They take their kids to rated R movies.
People will walk into the ripoff of Equalizer, which is called Death Wish, and do the same exact thing.
They'll do it to any movie that's like rated R. They'll always bring their kids. Upside though, I saw that and I like mentally grown, but upside though, and like I'd like to correct myself. I said I went in there for a Switch. I went in there for a Switch game. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I like to correct myself there because I remember getting a Switch game.
Well, imagine what would happen if you didn't correct yourself there.
Oh, I have to correct myself before everybody else in the comments corrects me.
You'll have to issue an apology.
Issue an apology at the beginning of the next SquareTable. Yep. Sorry guys, I misremembered. But yeah, no, it's just there's these parents just don't know what they're talking about, don't know anything about the rating system. And I think honestly, like the ESRB, you can't control parents. Like even if they pass this like, oh, there's a website now that parents can go to
they won't
check.
go.
They won't go.
If they won't read the back of a box, they definitely won't go.
Yeah. So it's pointless. These things they're enacting just won't do anything. Because parents don't give a shit. And I personally think it comes down to parents. Because, like, parents, they should set, like, a kid's account on their Xbox or PlayStation where the kid doesn't have a credit card associated with that account. And they can't use it for anything. And
but that sounds like work.
It sounds like work. And
sounds like work.
We want to leave our kids in front of the TV so we can go do something else.
I guess the thing is, like, I know the crux of the issue was, children. But my stance on the whole issue has always been, it's gambling and you're a bunch of greedy fucks for doing it. And I want that to stop. But, like, I don't have a problem pushing it through the aspect of you're doing this to kids as well.
Yeah, and, like, since we briefly mentioned about violent video games, it's like...
So here's the thing. I don't support the ESRB or the ESA on the topic of gambling. But I will support them on the thing of violent video games. Because on one hand, gambling is something that directly harms customers. But on the other hand, there's no evidence that says... There's no consensus that says violent video games make people violent. That's like that, and it's like no one blames movies for that. No one blames books for that.
They used to.
They used to because they were the newest thing.
Because video games are the newest scapegoat right now. I mean, like, there's some dude in Rhode Island that wants to pass legislation to tax rated M and AO games with, like, what was it, 10%?
10%.
10%.
For services to combat mental illness.
And it's like
you're already attaching the stigma to us without any sort of evidence or any sort of research.
Just the thing is, I guess with Rhode Island, it's like, why specifically do you have to tax video games? First off, video games rated M and AO video games
to place blame.
And it's obviously to place blame. But they're saying this under the umbrella of, like, mental health services, like increasing funding for mental health services, which is fine. I do support increasing funding and and the services for mental health. It's just why video games when you can tax something else or pull from some other thing?
Or you could just make that a program that you would pay money for. You could just create a tax for that instead of trying to establish some sort of pseudo syntax on something that's not even related.
Yeah, and it's
only related because you think it's an easy target.
And right now, video games are unfortunately an easy target, despite the fact they pull in a lot of money. And people are, like, looking into it.
Well, because old people always attack the easiest target, because they themselves consider themselves an easy target, so they pick the easier target than them.
Now, that sounds like millennial talk there, Zach.
I don't care.
I think you're getting a little bit too far there.
I haven't been this insulted since my son didn't join the union.
Oh, gosh.
Going against his pappy's wishes.
I don't know. I mean, that could be another topic, just, like, cultural divide when it comes to video games. Because, like, there are plenty of old people who enjoy video games.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, there are people who, like, like, they're 40, 50, 60. I think I've even heard of, like, a 70-year-old gamer who...
There's like an 80-year-old gamer with a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
The thing is that the people who make policy, the people who like getting into politics, they hate fun. They hate any aspect of enjoyment or entertainment, and they only see scapegoats and targets with things like entertainment.
Always politics, though.
Not lately with books, unless you count.
I'm not talking
50 Shades of bullshit.
Who's attacking 50 Shades of?
I guarantee you someone's attacking 50 Shades.
The only people attacking 50 Shades of Grey are, like, the puritanical people. So,
This is America. Guess how many of those there are?
I don't know. Far Cry 5 is telling me that there's one big family over in Montana.
They're one big
family. And linking Far Cry 5 back to our topic, aside from that, Ubisoft was like, there are no loot boxes in Far Cry 5.
That's actually something I didn't hear. That is somewhat surprising. What is the catch?
There are microtransactions.
Okay, of course.
Of course. It's Ubisoft.
Do the microtransactions attach to loot boxes?
No, I don't think they attach to loot boxes. I think they attach to, like, other shit. Like buying a gun or something. Like, you can buy it directly from the Far Cry 5 store. I don't know.
I guess.
But it's Ubisoft.
I guess that's better than microtransactions and loot boxes, but not by much.
It's Ubisoft. It's really not by much.
Yeah, it's really not that much.
It's really not by much. Anyways,
I guess it's better than them being bought out by Vivendell.
Did that go through?
No.
It didn't go through? They, like,
no, that's a constant struggle as far as I know.
I see. All right. Well, so I think that's most of the stuff that we wanted to talk about. I think the last few things we wanted to talk about are Kingdom Come and the new Overwatch hero, Brigitte. So since we're coming up on to about an hour, we'll just kind of briefly talk about it. Okay. Maybe next time we'll devote a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay, so quickly on Kingdom Come, I bought it, and there is definitely some things fun about it. Is
it broken?
I haven't run into anything that broke my game yet.
I'm surprised.
But yet again, I've been putting a lot of time into other games.
Right, okay.
So I haven't gotten really far into Kingdom Come. But the main reason why I want to support Kingdom Come is I think it's a game that needs to exist to at least prove, because apparently we need to do this every year, that single-player games have value.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
I just realized...
Because indies understand that, but larger companies are like, no, put everything in the multiplayer. And it's like, but that... Not only is that a short-lived... Compared to the lifespan a game may have, not only is that short-lived, it's also you trying to cash as much as you can out of something like that.
Yeah, and plus, like, with single-player games, you don't have to worry about connections, other people.
Because sometimes you just want to play by yourself.
It's not just that, it's just sometimes people don't have good connections to be able to game with other people.
Right.
So a single-player game is like a godsend, because then it's like, you're not restricted to playing multiplayer for whatever reason, and then not having the ability to do that. You can just open up a game with a great story and play that. And
like I like Warhammer Vermintide. But no one the friends we usually play with, none of them like it. So I can't really play Vermintide by myself because it's a multiplayer game. So as much as I like Vermintide, I don't have a lot of time, I don't have a lot of instances in which I play it.
It kind of cuts the value of your game, like the life of your game.
And like, I don't want to say you shouldn't have made Vermintide, because Vermintide's fun. It's just that it's one of those things where if that's your thing, it's a risk if someone who's interested in your game can't find other people who are also interested in the game.
Yeah. And then, especially if a game has a dying player base, trying to find anybody that'll play the game, no matter how good it is a fucking chore. Battleborn was like that. I liked Battleborn. I don't want to go too far and say
you and David liked Battleborn. And
I liked Battleborn.
You were the two people in the world who liked Battleborn.
We were the two people in the world that bought Battleborn and liked it. No, that's not true. The thing is, Battleborn has a single player mode, which is probably why I haven't uninstalled it yet, because I just want to go play the
single player mode.
Play the single player mode, which is good. But if it had just been a multiplayer mode, like if it had just gone the straight Overwatch route, it would have been fucked even earlier. Yeah. Like it would have been really
there would be no value in playing the game.
Yeah, Battleborn at least clung on to life for an extra 6 more months.
Yeah.
Because of that single player game aspect. If it hadn't, it would have been dead. Just really dead 6 months in.
So, but to wrap that up quickly, it's just like I bought Kingdom Come and I played it, and so far I've enjoyed it. But the main reason why I bought it was because this needs to consistently be this argument that single player games have value.
I heard that.
It's like arguing that horror games have value after EA completely bungled it. Like, I don't see what went wrong. It's like, of course you don't.
Poor Dead Space. I heard that you can't really control Henry. Like with Witcher, you can you have a lot of free reign with Witcher as like an RPG. You can kind of control Geralt. Is that Geralt? I can't fucking remember how to say that. Like just think Genji. It begins with a G. Okay, the G. Geralt begins with a G. Yeah, it's a hard G. I just, like, you can kind of choose how he acts. He doesn't have much of, he has a personality, but it's not, like, by much. It's kind of like the same way Mass Effect. It's a personality that is very malleable. Yeah. Where Mass Effect's personality is extremely vague. Geralt has a personality that can lend itself to multiple situations, which is fine, which is different and better. So I'm wondering, because I heard that Kingdom Come is a little bit more stricter than that. Well, because a big part of it is like at the beginning of the game, you are a peasant. You are a Czech peasant. You don't know how to read. You have only lived in one village your entire life, and you don't know how to fight.
in the very beginning of the game. So who you are has already been pretty heavily molded. And that's not necessarily bad, because the person you are can change later. Like, okay, like as an example, one of the things I did was I helped, like, I'm not gonna do spoilers. So let's just say there's a point where someone helped you, and they are in like they have a shadowy thief connection sort of deal. And personally, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, no problem. But Henry's like, I won't steal. It's unchristian. It's the unchristian thing to do. And Christianity is a big part of it because he's a peasant. But that's like the thing. He's saying, I don't feel good about this. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's steal some shit. And
can you make him do it?
Yes, I'll like, you can do it. You can definitely do it. But
he'll feel really shitty, and he'll bring it up.
He'll like, I don't want to do this. Don't make me do this. And you're like, you're gonna fucking do it.
God damn it, Henry.
Dig up that corpse and steal his shit.
That's pretty much looting the game.
Yeah. A lot of the beginning of the game was me looting corpses. That was a big part of the beginning of the game. But
I mean, you're a peasant, you have nothing.
Yeah, so, I'm a peasant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm a grimy peasant, but that's the thing. It is a thing of like, a lot of your character has been cemented in the sense that is a character he grew up with. But you can still do whatever you want.
I think that's interesting.
Most part. But there are consequences because you are a peasant. You have no social standing.
Yeah, makes sense. I think that's interesting, and I kind of want to talk about it at a later podcast. We have like 10 million ideas for this podcast. We'll get to it eventually.
We just do one at a time, and every time we do one, we create 10 new ideas.
Yeah, it happens a lot. We're really bad at that.
Maybe at one point, we'll have a 3-person podcast, and I'll put it up on mine, and we'll play Kingdom Come Deliverance over it.
Henry's
and we'll watch Henry, the stupid peasant, try to learn to read.
Apparently, if you want to avoid getting laid, you still get laid anyways.
Oh yeah, there's no avoiding it.
Yeah, there's no avoiding it.
You are a filthy, unchristian peasant.
Exactly.
No matter how, like, you lose your innocence.
All right. Well, it's coming up onto the hour, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Brigida.
So go ahead and do that.
So, okay, I'll see how fast I can talk about it, because I know you have work after this and stuff.
No, I do. But
so...
it's like 5 minutes away.
True.
I can make it.
It is 5 minutes, that's true. You just walk up the street, roll on in.
Actually, I walk down the street.
Oh, right, you walk... Wait, do you really walk down the street?
I can.
Is it down?
Yeah.
Or up?
I could literally...
It is down, you're right.
I could literally get a bike and then just bike to work every day.
Maybe you should.
It wouldn't be... I probably should.
Save gas.
I should, yeah.
So... Brigida was announced for Overwatch, new hero and everything.
She's
cool. I like her abilities. I like the whole concept. She's like a healer tank hybrid.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's under. I think she's under support.
She's under support.
Okay. Which is nice because the supports are like, they have variety now, which is good. And everybody's always talking about how like nobody wants to heal. So now Blizzard is listening to them and just throwing 10 million support heroes into that category. Because Moira was a support, Anna was a support. So Brigida is great in that she's support, but then she's also a tank. So she's like half with Moira and Anna.
The game needs more hybrid classes, I think.
I think so. I think that it gives them flexibility.
Defense needs to actually fucking mean something. Or you need to get rid of it. One of the two. Either make it mean something or get rid of it.
Consolidate it to the other groups.
Yeah.
Because hybrid characters allow for really interesting, flexible playstyles. And I think that's the thing that Blizzard's trying to go for. They're trying to go for, like, flex. Because a lot of people will, like, insta-pick characters. But there needs to be more characters that allow people to flex. Because a lot of people aren't going to actually do it themselves, So...
Because it can be hard to get a side tank, but now with Brigitte, then you have a... Brigida. I'm sorry that I'm doing in a French accent, or whatever I'm doing. But Brigida, with her, you could have feasibly a side tank. Feasibly.
You could have 2 tanks and 2 healers, and then she's like half tank, half healer. I'm just gonna move your mouse there.
Move that slightly.
I don't know how fast the response. Okay.
It's a slow monitor. It's a slow TV.
I see. The thing is, I'm not the thing that makes me hesitant about it. I love everything about her. Her backstory, her character design, her abilities.
She's got some fucking Blizzard paladins, though.
She does. Blizzard loves those fucking paladins.
Blizzard loves putting shit on people's shoulders. The more important they are, the bigger their shoulders get.
Reinhardt! Look at his fucking shoulders.
You can tell he has pecs because he needs pecs to carry his fucking shoulders.
Exactly. He's a muscly man. The thing is, just the last 7 characters. Okay, aside from Doomfist, all the characters that have come out so far have been female.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe we don't account Orisa because she's a robot, but they've all been like women, and that's usually not a problem. I don't mind that. I love having female characters in my games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like I feel uneasy because I feel like I don't know if I can trust Blizzard 100% with this because Blizzard's a big company, and it's possible that they're only putting these female characters because they're like waifu material.
Well, I told you, like within like hours of Brigida being announced, there was porn.
Yeah, it's just like they know that this sells. Like attractive female characters will sell a game to their audience,
right? Which
I feel like they're not doing it because they want to make it a point that female characters can be strong and can be well designed without being sexualized. Aside from Widowmaker, that's another thing, and like have interesting backstories. I don't feel like it's coming from that kind of like heart, you know what I mean? That kind of place, and it's more coming from like a pandering kind of place.
To be fair, there is a group of the internet that will literally sexualize anything, no matter what. Like
I understand, that.
She is attractive, and that lends itself to that concept. But the internet's going to do that no matter what, I think.
I mean,
but also I think you're right in the sense that the characters come out and like them themselves have nice concepts and they have, good backstory, but they don't connect to anything else. Like Overwatch is a game with an organization called Overwatch, but like I think like 3/4 of the characters in Overwatch are not part of Overwatch in any way, shape, or form.
I think that's like that's a big thing that we could talk about, but we'll probably be here all day.
Yeah, that's for our let's gripe about Overwatch.
Let's rant about Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's just I want to like what Blizzard's doing. But I'm also very, very hesitant to...
You feel like there's an ulterior motive.
Yes, I do. And that is really shitty to say that, but I feel like there is, especially with other companies doing the same exact shit, like just kind of pandering because I think that's what will sell.
I mean, that makes sense. Because it's like, Blizzard doesn't need to make anything connect to anything because it's been almost 2 years now, and they still have... Well, not almost 2 years, but it's been over a year, and they still haven't connected anything to a main overall story. They've done backstory and backstory and backstory and backstory, but nothing has actually been connected in terms of story. So pretty much they're not really thinking about, oh, what's this character going to bring to the narrative?
What's keeping Overwatch afloat? The characters. What will keep their game afloat? Attractive women.
And like that's honestly an aspect of it. And to be fair, Doomfist fucking sucks. No, they've never made Doomfist good. When he first came out, he was like a Super Saiyan, and that was awesome. Because you could go.
Well, that's another aspect. That's a balancing aspect.
Because you could go you could go into custom mode, turn off gravity, and then just do Super Saiyan battles. Yeah, because he does that already. Because he already does. Because his arm does that hum already for him. But it's like
Kakarot.
Oh, no, that's Vegeta's voice. Kakarot.
Vegeta.
I've been waiting for this.
Now
face my knuckle blasters. But yeah, it's like honestly that Doomfist does suck because I think they put Doomfist out and it's like, okay, no one really gives a shit about Doomfist.
And now it's like,
and Doomfist is now broken to the point that playing him is a joke. It's like playing Attack Torbjorn, except Attack Torbjorn has actual incentives if there's a payload.
I guess what we're trying to say is that Blizzard is great with art, designing, all that's not map design, character design.
But man, do they suck at writing.
But they suck at everything else. Their map design is not very good, and it's just like, what is going on with Overwatch?
I guess it's not that they suck at writing; they suck at narrative because they wrote good backstories, but like they suck at writing a cohesive narrative to piece everything together.
Yeah, a plot. Basically.
A plot is the difficulty.
A big overarching plot. So that's why I really want to like Brigitte. I want to like the inclusion of all these female characters, and it's like half of me does, but the other half of me is just so like, I don't know if it's like an ulterior like publisher motive, because like I don't trust anybody in the gaming industry anymore, as much as it sucks to say that.
No, but it's hard to trust anyone who would describe themselves as Jim Sterling would say, AAA.
Yeah, and like I think also because like previously, like so Farah had that Native American skin. The Thunderbird skin, the 2 Thunderbird skins. And everybody was like, why does she have the skin? She's Egyptian. Are you trying to put, Well,
her father's Canadian.
Well, the thing is, native. That shit only came out after everybody was like, calling them out on it.
Yeah.
And then
so like they came up with the concept before they came out with the rationalization.
Yeah. They came up with the concept before they rationalized it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate, that's all.
Yeah, but it's like they rationalized it, but they couldn't even give him like a specific Canadian indigenous tribe. Right. They were just like, he's Canadian native. That's it.
Like what tribe?
Like what tribe? What tribe uses Thunderbird iconography? It's like, yeah, that's why.
I mean, there are several totemistic tribes that you could have used, but they just didn't.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's why I'm hesitant with the inclusion of all these like female characters. Like, I feel like it's going in a direction that doesn't mean, yeah, girl power. This is great. Games with girls sell. It's more like,
you don't know if you're playing Overwatch or Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Is that the feeling you get?
Except Dead or Alive is pretty bad. It's like out front.
Dead or Alive is actually hilarious.
It's bad, and they know it's bad. They don't give a shit anymore. Overwatch is like trying to put the veil of like social commentary over it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's what I'm not sure about, and that's what makes me hesitant to really embrace all the inclusion of these heroes. Anyways, that's the shortened thing. I could probably get into it a little bit more. That will be later.
For another day.
Podcast 10,000 whenever we get there.
Yeah.
But anyways, you gotta go to work.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yell at us when you want us to talk about a thing.
Yell at us in the comments. Yell at us on Twitter.
Yell at us during a Twitch stream.
I'm
probably gonna try to stream the Tomb Kings soon. It's a little after the fact, but I just haven't had time. So I might do that this weekend.
Yeah. You should do that. It's Tomb King.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
It's skeletons.
It's spooky skeletons.
By the way, I want to watch Overlord.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
because I don't know anything about it, but I saw a skeleton on the cover and it's like, that's dope.
I heard there's a second season and it's actually very popular right now.
I saw a giant skeleton, and my brain flashed to Yakuza 0, where Kiryu says, "That's rad."
That's rad.
And then he learns the skeleton form.
Oh my god, I can't look at Kiryu the same way because of fucking Inuyashiki. The Yakuza guy.
Oh no, I see it.
I can't look at him the same way.
You should see that part in Kiwami where he fights tigers.
What?
He has a fist fight.
I should probably play Yakuza.
Yeah, we can play it together. It'll be fun.
I should probably go pick up Yakuza.
I actually have it, so we can just play it off stream.
Yakuza 0?
Yeah, I have all
Kiwami?
of them. I have both.
Oh, you have all of them? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So when you're bored, you can come over here, and off stream we'll just play Yakuza.
That sounds amazing. All right, well, we got to wrap this up. So thanks for listening to the SquareTable podcast, guys. This episode will come up or get posted whenever.
I'll finish it this weekend probably because I have nothing better to do.
I think actually now that I go to grad school, the internet on campus is so fucking amazing. I can upload shit way faster than I could be like at my house. Yeah. So
maybe if I apply there for spring, I'll get a taste of that amazing internet. Apparently, it's
pretty fast. Like an episode, like a 23-minute episode for Let's Plays which would take like normally 46 minutes to upload, 50 minutes, maybe even longer, depending on who's using the internet, takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right.
Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching with your ear holes.
Thanks for watching with your ear holes that Zach undoubtedly destroyed when he moved our mic.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Don't worry. I will add a visual component now.
Visual component?
With sign language.
Sign language that you learned?
with the one word in sign language that I know.
What is it?
I don't want to say.
Okay, I see.
It's a dirty word.
What?
I was taught it as a favor by a student when I used to work at Chafee.
Like how at Disneyland, they're like, if they say, have a Disney day, it just means fuck you. All right. Have a good day.
Okay.
Or night,
Well,
guys.
actually, there is something I want to exit on because it's related to that thing you just said.
Okay.
It's going to take a second. So, a long time ago, when I first moved here, like my first year at my middle school that was in this town, like a big thing at the end of the year, I think it was 7th or 8th grade, was to go to Disneyland.
Okay.
Right? As a class. And I was sitting with some guys, and we were like this was like when we were like 11 or 12. And I think we were in Tomorrowland, and one of the guys was playing with like the roll of grass on one of the planters.
Okay.
And a employee came by, and it was like it was first like, don't do that, and he was like, okay, and then she said because everything here is made special with that little bit of pixie dust. And then she turned around and walked away. My friend grabbed the thing, went,
oh no!
She didn't see, but it was.
But the pixie dust.
But it still makes me laugh now. It's the dumbest thing ever, and I would shake my head at a kid doing that now. But at the time, it was hilarious.
Those fucking middle schoolers. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Goodbye.